So, what is a 1095A form? Some of you are asking for it because you think you need it and you don't. And the reason you don't need it is because you didn't have coverage on the marketplace, or you had coverage on the marketplace, but you were not receiving a tax credit. Okay. Or you just didn't have coverage at all. So, a 1095A form, it's a, it's an IRS form that reports health insurance coverage purchased through the health insurance marketplace, and is used to reconcile premium tax credits. Okay, now if you haven't received a tax credit, you're not going to have a 1095A form. Okay, and then if you get a 1095B or C, those don't have to be filed. You can just put it away with your tax records for the years. I mean, because you don't have to file those. I think the 1095B comes from maybe a state, like if you have Medicaid or something. But and 1095C may come from your employer, but 1095A, the only reason you're going to get a 1095A form is if you have health insurance on the marketplace and you are receiving a tax credit based on your income. That's when you will receive a 1095A for the year in question. So some people call me and say, "Hey, Victoria, I can't find my 1095A." And then, in doing some more research, I find out that they didn't even have any coverage. So if you didn't have any coverage for any months, you're not going to have a 1095A. So if you had coverage for 6 months, and that coverage was through the marketplace, and you were receiving a tax credit, then your 1095A is going to show 6 months of coverage. Okay. But if you didn't have any coverage or any tax credit, you're not getting a 1095A, even if you are on the marketplace. Okay. A lot of you are confused about this. And you may say, well, where can I get my 1095A form? All right. So when you're filling out your marketplace application, um, you can receive your 1095A form right there. If you have marketplace health insurance, you're going to get your 1095A through your marketplace account or portal, because you do have an inbox where you receive all these communications. And normally your 1095A will show up at the end of January or at the beginning of February. Okay. And once you go in your inbox, you can see it. A lot of if you subscribe to receive email notifications or paperless, like text and email, then your 1095A is going to come that way. But if you opted only to receive postal mail, then your 1095A more than likely is going to come in your mailbox. So pay attention to your mailbox. Some people get mail, they don't ever go through it, they get something important and they don't even look at it. Here's how I know. Because especially with online banking, you know how the bank sends a check out for you. So I was paying a bill like that through online banking, and someone had completed some work in the yard, and so I paid them through online banking. And they were like, "Well, when am I gonna get my payment?" I said, "It should be in the mail. I mean, have you checked your mail? It's not gonna have the word CHECK written on it. It's not gonna say check." But you got to open the mail so you can get it. You'll know what it is until when you open it. And so, lo and behold, that person checked their mail, and they found it. So a lot of people are bad about this. They're bad about checking postal mail, and they're bad about checking their emails. When you have important things going on in your life, you definitely need to be checking your email. You need to be checking your mail that comes in the mail. Some stuff I know is junk. Like you get flyers, you get campaign stuff and all that, those little postcards, you already know that's junk. You can just throw it away. But if it's an envelope and it has something about your health insurance, or your life insurance, or it just from your bank and stuff, you don't want to ignore those pieces of mail. You definitely want to open them up just to see what's going on. One time I found a check because I have an office, so basically I get mail, and sometimes I just sit in the office and say, okay, I'm gonna get to this later. So one New Year's Eve, I was cleaning out my office, right? And I was sorting, putting things, filing things away to the proper folder and stuff. And then there was one piece of mail that had a large check in it. And I probably had received that check maybe 2 or 3 months before. What if I had just thrown that stuff away? I would have missed some money. Okay, so your 1095A is going to either be in your inbox, learn how to sign into your marketplace account, or your state-based exchange. I know, as I said in one video, some of these states have their own state-based exchange. They got away from the marketplace, but it still goes by the rules, basically, are the same. And then some are at healthcare.gov, which is the health insurance marketplace. But some states have their own, like Georgia Access, Get Covered, New Jersey. So definitely, if you're looking for your 1095A, it's going to be on the marketplace. Your agent cannot produce it for you. Okay, they can tell you where to get it. The other thing, I'm going to repeat this. If you did not have coverage for the year in question, you will not have a 1095A. If you did not receive a tax credit, you will not have a 1095A. 1095A is to reconcile the premium tax credit that you receive for your health insurance through the marketplace. But if you don't have health insurance through the marketplace, you don't need a 1095A. Okay. If you did not, even if you had a plan on the marketplace, but you were not receiving the credit, then you will not receive a 1095A. So I hope that is clear, because a lot of people are confused about this 1095A. And so just keep that in mind. But if you want a 1095A form, it's always going to be in your inbox on the marketplace, or it's going to be mailed to you depending on your communication preferences that you chose when you set up your account. I hope this helps someone. You can send a comment, write a comment below, say, hey, this helped me, thank you, or something. Like, subscribe, share, and click the little bell for notifications if you want to be notified when I upload something. All right, happy learning.